Hey, Lynxfur, how you doing? I'm fucking freezing. It's 15 degrees. Wonderful Cleveland. I forgot to do my before show prep here. There. Hey, Kathy's here. Let's get started. Broadcasting from beautiful downtown Cleveland, it's station WDWL TV, starring me, the grumpy old man, and our nightly appearance by the grumpy jackalope. And our show is brought to you by Grumpy Vulture Productions. No bow. Thank you. It's 15 degrees right now. Holy frozen kielbasa. And I did not go out. Ron's having volume problems. I got the mic turned up. Maybe because it's upside down. Turn your tablet upside down, Ron. Maybe the volume will get better. Uh-oh. Well, besides the shit show we had last night, I wrote a blistering email to the station manager of CNBC in Dallas, because that's where the feed was coming from. So let's see if I get any response from him. And then, if that wasn't a shit show, to show you how my year is starting out, my trackball mouse died. An hour ago, it just quit working. And I love this trackball mouse. It's fully charged. It just quit. Dead. Don't do nothing. Of course, made in China. I didn't even get a year out of this. I haven't had this a year. And it's completely dead. Won't do a damn thing. High static. Oh yeah, Yeah, there is static. I don't understand what's going on. Now it quit. The mic quit. Now the mic quit. Yeah, I see that. Anybody? Yeah, there is static. I, I didn't have any damn static when I was testing it. I don't understand what the hell. We're going to have to put up with it because I can't, even though I have other microphones, I can't switch mics. At least I don't think I don't know if I can switch. Yeah. Oh, that's yeah. I'm watching the audio, the meter on the audio, and it's a shitload of static. Is it that irritating? I mean, I could try switching microphones midstream, but I don't know if it would work. Kathy, you don't hear any static. All right. I'm seeing static in the audio level, and I'm hearing a tiny bit. But long as you're not hearing it out there, we'll just go with what we've got. Yeah, I'll tell you what, I'm really upset about this mouse. Mainly because Kathy recommended a trackball. And I'd never had a trackball before. And now that I've got it, it is slicker than all shit. I love it because you just, a gentle roll of your thumb, it just outright quit. Matter of fact, I was scanning through some YouTube stuff, and I was like, how come the scroll ain't working? And then I went to click on the mouse, and nothing. The lights on the back, dead. Just outright died. Really upset me. I mean, I'm back to my I got one of these aerodynamic, whatever the hell that. I got one of these, but it's a plug-in. I mean, I like this because it's very comfortable on your hand, but that trackball, all you do is use your thumb. And it just outright died. So now I'm in the market for another trackball because once you use a trackball mouse, you know, it's like Lay's potato chips. You can't eat just one. Oh, the light from the microphone's giving me multicolored freckles. I just noticed that. I have multicolored freckles from the microphone. Oh, is that irritating? Oh, gonna be a good year. I was watching some more pursuit videos today, and one made me laugh to the point I almost fell out of the chair. Typical Arkansas, although it was not the Birdman and it was not the Samoan. Chasing this guy down the highway. Chase goes for about 20 miles, and he finally pits the guy, and he's got the bumper of the car right up against the door. And he's yelling for the guy to get out of the car, roll the window down. The guy ain't doing nothing. So he busts the window out, and he's telling the guy, get out of the car. And the guy's going, no, I'm not getting out. I'm scared. Well, this guy had hair extensions, and he had them pulled up, and there was a band like wrapped around, and then it looked like a mop. You know, they were all hanging. So the trooper kept telling the guy, get out of the car, get out of the car. The guy's going, no, I'm not getting out of the car. He holsters his gun, and he reaches in, and he grabs that guy's hair by that wraparound band and started to pull him out of the car. And you know, it's amazing how fast he complied. Although he was screaming, you're pulling my hair out, you're pulling my hair out. And the trooper's dragging this guy out of the car by his hair extensions. Oh, I loved it. Then when he got him out of the car, the guy's crying, oh, my head hurts, my head hurts. The trooper told him, he said, well, you should have got out of the car. But it was hilarious. He broke that window, and the guy's like, I'm not getting out. No, I'm scared. The trooper was like, all right, I'll help you out. Ow, 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 ow. I'll tell you what. Arkansas and Florida, 2 states you don't screw around with. Them troopers are brutal. Although I've seen some Ohio State troopers that I wouldn't want to screw with, but man, watching Arkansas and watching Florida, and both of them, they'll pit at any speed. They don't care if it's 50 or 150 miles an hour. But yesterday I had fun watching Trooper Escamilla. Oh, I don't know if she's married or if she's got a boyfriend, but I'll tell you what, if she does have a boyfriend, I bet you he toes the line. Can you get me some ice water? Yes, dear. Don't hurt me. She's more brutal than some men. Although I'll tell you what, her team last year, because she's a member of the drug interdiction team, they basically, her and the team made drug busts totaling over $300,000. That I'll tell you what. That girl has a nose for drugs, too. Another video I was watching, and I don't know, well, I don't pay attention to the NFL much, but this idiot who happened to be at one time a defensive end for the Denver Broncos, he basically was a fifth-round pick in 2013. Then he missed his rookie year due to a torn ACL. And then the following year, he played in 15 games and then was released. Well, he did tryouts with the Jets, the Jaguars, and the Lions, trying to revive his career. Well, in the meantime, he decides, while I'm trying to revive my career, he does an armed robbery at a cell phone store. He steals 10 iPhones and $500. Well, then the dumbass decides to flee on the highway. Not a good idea. So, after they performed a pit maneuver and arrested him, instead of reviving his career with the NFL, he is now playing for the PFL, the Prison Football League. So, Kathy, do you have a Kroger's near you? Because I know there's Kroger's all over down south. Actually, in southern Ohio. We used to have Kroger's in northern Ohio, and then they left. I don't know the reason why. Once you get to Columbus, then there's Kroger's all over southern Ohio. As a matter of fact, when I was dating that girl in Columbus, I had a Kroger card. After I broke up with her, I sent her the card, said, "Here, you use the points. I won't be going to Kroger anymore." So did you write down Murray's? What a name for a French brie cheese. Murray's. You would think it would be like Maurice's. I'll tell you what, even though it's got a goofy name, Murray's, it is rated one of the top-notch brie cheeses imported out of all of them, except your little niche cheese shops. But as far as buying it at the supermarket level, Murray's number one. Next time I go to Gigantic Eaglet, I'm going to have to see what brand of brie that they carry. Now that I've been talking about it so much, I got a taste for it again. Oh, you got a wood... that's right, you do have a wood stove. I would love to have one. You know, the house my sister used to have had a big fireplace in the living room. And I used to love sitting before that fireplace. There were some times I wouldn't even turn the TV on. I'd sit and watch the fire burn. Watching a fire is so relaxing. Just remember, when you buy the cheese, get a baguette. Now, water crackers are okay. But to me, brie cheese on a baguette has a lot better flavor than on a cracker. But to each his own. You know, some people like it on a cracker. Yeah, there were times when I go visit my sister and I would bring firewood just so that I could sit and watch the fire. Yeah, even in a wood burning stove, you know, most of them have fiberglass fronts, and I just like to watch a fire burn. Well, the crock pot right now has Hungarian sausage, sauerkraut, and potatoes. That's my dinner after the show. And then tomorrow I am going to go up to Save-A-Lot because they have spare ribs on sale. And I'm going to get some spare ribs. And I'm going to do me some spare ribs and sauerkraut. Because I still have sauerkraut left over. Not to mention, I'm not going to eat all that sauerkraut in the crock pot. So it'll be well-seasoned sauerkraut. And then basically what I do is I take all the sauerkraut out of the crock pot, and then I'll put the spare ribs in and pile the sauerkraut on top and turn the switch. Cook. I love using a crock pot. About 2 o'clock, I went out. I threw everything in the crock pot, plugged it in, set it. When the show's over, dinner will be ready. Yeah, what I got to do is I got to have the guy cut the spare ribs in half so I can layer them in the crock pot. All they're going to do is go in and go, brrr. There we go. I tried cutting them in half once before. Circular saw kind of makes a mess out of spare ribs. It was between the circular saw and the saber saw. Although I could have used the Sawzall. I mean, I have a bandsaw in the garage. What I should have done was gone out in the garage, because that's what they're going to cut them with tomorrow at the store. They have a big meat cutting bandsaw. I could take although then it would take me forever to clean it, and be my luck, my neighbor would see meat in the saw and think I carved up a body or something. The guy up the street this morning was, because I kind of looked out the window this morning to see what the snow was like. Him and his brother were out in the front yard. Evidently, they were looking for shell casings. The idiots firing off a damn AK-47. A Teenage Mutant Ninja drink maker that makes turtle ice cream. Uh-oh, sick joke. I have to dig out my popcorn maker. I got a taste for popcorn for some reason. The only problem is I'll make popcorn like every night for 3 weeks, and then I won't even want to look at that popcorn maker. Because I have some it all pops white. I have some maroon popcorn. I have some Indian corn popcorn. And I have some black popcorn. Boy, does that stuff look disgusting in the container. But it's hull-less. And it's, matter of fact, it says the black popcorn, I can't remember what the fancy name is, supposed to pop with kernels twice as big. You would like my bandsaw, Kathy. Mary Ann gave it to me. She didn't want it. As a matter of fact, she gave me like 10 extra saw bands. It's about, maybe 30 inches tall. It sits on a workbench real nice. And I love that little machine. It's great for, cutting small stuff. Now, you can't take a 4x8 sheet of plywood, but it is really cool. Like when I cut the green lenses for my Vista bar, they had to be like 2 inches by 4. So I got a sheet of green Lexan, clear Lexan, and just went out there. I love that little saw. I use the hell out of it. She bought it, and she bought, like I say, 10 extra saw bands. She used it once, and she didn't like it. So one day she said, "Hey, you want a bandsaw?" Hell yes, I want a bandsaw. During the summer, any small craft item, it works great. Now my neighbor's got a big one. He got it out of a cabinet shop that closed. And if I need something more intricate cut, I take it over to him. The goddamn saw stands like 8 foot tall. It's got a saw band that's got to be an inch and a half thick or wide. But he does a little bit of woodworking on the side, so my little benchtop one would be great for that kind of stuff. If you're cutting small stuff, I love it. It's multi-speed adjustable. I mean, I don't understand what Marianne was expecting. I think she bought it and tried to cut a 2x4 and was like, "Oh, this ain't, But like I say, it stands maybe 30 inches tall, and it's got a table that's, I think the table is 8 by 10. But for small stuff, it's great. I love it. Every time I use it, I thank her. If she'll be out working the yard and say, "Hey, just use the bandsaw." But it's great when I have to cut Lexan plastic. Because like when I got my one Vista bar, all the lenses were red, and I couldn't use red, so I bought a big sheet of green Lexan plastic, and I cut my own. Yeah, this one too, Kathy. I carry it in the house, outside. Matter of fact, I had to cut a couple of moldings, and I just set it in the bed of the shit box and plugged it in, and like I say, Marianne bought it, used it once, I don't know where she bought it. It was local somewhere. I know not from Homeless Depot because I've never seen a small bandsaw. But the guy talked her into buying extra saw bands. He goes, "Oh, these break." God, I've been using the same saw band for 5, 6 years. They never broke on me. I got the spare bands hanging in the garage. And if I do break one, they're real easy to change. Matter of fact, I've had a couple of people offer to buy it. I'm like, nope, not for sale. It's too handy. If I have to do a small cut, I go right to that saw rather than trying to use, a jigsaw or that, because my hand isn't that steady. I just on the table and the only thing when I'm cutting Lexan plastic, I have to take my time, because if you try to force it, it ends up chipping the damn Lexan. Yeah, I've got a, what size is that blade? 10-inch? I think it's a 10-inch blade. I got I call it a chop saw. It's a miter saw. Big Craftsman. When I was remodeling the kitchen in my house, I just bought so many feet of molding and then cut it myself. It's in the basement collecting dust right now. Still looks like new. Yeah, I've got circular saws. I've got sawzalls, jigsaws. Although I'm a freak for tools. I would rather have them and not use them than need them and not have them. Matter of fact, I probably have, let's see, I probably have 6 Ryobi circular saws, all cordless. I picked a couple of them up at garage sales. Even though I've got them, I'm like, oh, I could use one of these. I'll add it to the collection with the other 5, Yeah, I got 6 circular saws. I've got 3 sawzalls, 2 jigsaws. I got my miter saw downstairs. I must have 5, 6, seven power drills. What did I pick up recently? Oh, a right angle drill. I love that thing. Matter of fact, my right angle drill, I use it like a ratchet wrench when I'm working on the car. Although I am going to get a ratchet wrench. I'm going to get an electric 3/8 battery powered ratchet wrench. The corner of my living room looks like a tool warehouse between wrench sets and socket sets and screwdriver sets and you name it, plier sets. I'm just a freak for tools. Well, I have a basement. Problem is I can't trust it. Everything's got to be up because my damn basement gets water. So that's why my living room looks like a storeroom. Although I got rid of all my living room furniture anyway. Well, Ron, I miss owning a house. I keep trying to buy this one, and the landlord won't sell it. Now, him and his wife, they own 5 fucking houses. Six. Out of 6 houses, they live in one. I live in the other one. The double in Lakewood is a hoarder's paradise. You can't get in it because my landlord's a hoarder. The big farmhouse he's got in Westlake is a hoarder's paradise. The house that he's got in Euclid is a hoarder's paradise. I mean, he's got a beautiful double house in Lakewood, and you can't move in it. Matter of fact, he mentioned he's got like 10,000 LPs, and he's got like 4,045s, and he took me over to show me. He wouldn't sell any of the, oh man, there were some LPs there I wanted. You have to turn sideways to walk through this house. And the upstairs is wall-to-wall furniture. And his niece was telling me the farmhouse in Westlake is the same way. Wall-to-wall hoard. Instead of cleaning a house, they buy another one. And I keep telling them, sell me this house. You won't have to pay taxes on it. You won't have to screw with it. Oh, maybe one day. Because I would love to remodel the bathroom and the kitchen. I would like to turn this into a real studio. You know, get the soundproofing for the walls like a real studio has. I would divide it in half and make 2 real studios. No, I can't do that. I don't own it. What's behind here is a room divider. I would like to build a wall and then, like, over here have a door, a door for each studio. But I can't do it. I don't own the place. Oh, Kathy, the house, the double he's got in Lakewood is gorgeous. He said the reason he quit renting was he didn't like dealing with tenants. So what does he do? The lease is expired, the tenants move out, and then he jams a house with junk. And besides that, he has 2 10 by 20 storage units that he rents out in Westlake. One of them is full. Back to front, side to side, almost to the ceiling, with telephones. He worked for Ohio Bell, and when they turned into AT&T and they got basically out of the phone business, he bought all the goddamn phones that they had. Brand new phones in boxes. He thinks they're going to be worth a fortune. You're renting a 10 by 20 storage facility and you have it jammed full with telephones. And the other one is jammed full of cases of books, which the mice have probably eaten the shit out of. He went to an auction and he bought up cases of old school books, which he thinks are going to be worth money. Well, schools get rid of them because they're obsolete. So he has, that one's a 10 by 10, floor to ceiling, cases of old school books. Oh, I wouldn't doubt it, Kathy. When they had that program on hoarders, 90% of the people had health issues. And it's got to be something to do with all the shit in the house. But I mean, what good are brand new boxes of touch-tone phones that are just... The phones are probably all crap by now because, those storage units aren't heated. Yeah, he bought all the warehouse stock. Because when I was getting, let's see, who was I with? Oh, when I first took out my, when I first moved here and took out my Spectrum service, I got a free phone line for a year. Well, it didn't work with the old touch-tone phones. I had to buy the new digital. So I picked up a cheap digital phone, and then at the end of the year, when it came time for the free service to end, I canceled it. Oh, donate, Kathy? Oh, that's a nasty word. Because I mentioned that to my landlord. I said, you ought to donate some of this stuff. What? It's going to be valuable. I can almost imagine the day they open that storage locker full of books. It'll look like a room of giant confetti because the mice will have eaten every book in the place. I mean, you figure a 10 by 10 and a 10 by 20. I'll just throw out a figure of $250 a month. Why are you spending that kind of money for junk? And then you've got these beautiful houses that are just going to... Now, the one in Lakewood, he pays a guy to maintain it because Lakewood is deadly if your house gets in disrepair. But see, the city don't know what's inside. All they see is a house that looks nice from the outside, and the lawn is taken care of, and the driveway's plowed. And they would go berserk if they saw the inside of that house, that double. He could be making money. People are, killing one another to rent a house. And then the big house out that he's got in Westlake, his niece wants the house because it's got a front porch that goes all the way around the house. It's like something you would see in a southern movie. The front porch goes all the way around the whole house. They've been in this storage locker probably 10 years. So what you do is you open the locker and you pull up a dumpster and you just throw them all away. But he thinks all this stuff is worth big money. And he's got two people that want to take houses off his hands. He's the same age as me. He's paying taxes on all these houses. Oh, that's why his niece wants the house, Kathy. Because it is the only house for miles that has a wraparound porch. She said she just wants the house for the porch. But they filled it with crap and they moved out of it. She said you can't even get in the garage. She said in order for her to move into that house, she would probably have to have at least 4 40-yard dumpsters. And he hasn't lived in it in 5 years. I don't know if he's heating it. I would hope so. Because when the last tenant moved out of this house, it was empty for 5 years. And he didn't heat it. There was no electricity. And he never drained the plumbing system. And all the copper pipes blew out. In order for me to move in here, he had to pay a plumber to replumb the whole house. And the guy did it in that plastic, what do they call it, PEX? It's all plastic pipe. But that was also the fastest way he could get me water. And then, of course, you know, he had to replace the toilet because it froze and it blew up. That's another reason I want this. It's got all brand new plumbing. And I lucked out because he had put a brand new, it's a 90 plus furnace. It's hilarious. It's the size of a 2-drawer file cabinet. And it's efficient as hell. But see, part of the problem is with the house being empty, he had put a new furnace and air conditioning in, and somebody stole the outside air conditioning unit. And he didn't replace it, although I don't like whole house air anyway. But I would love to buy it off of him. Like I say, I would remodel a bathroom. I would take the bathtub out and I would put in one of them big shower stalls. Because they make them that are the full length of a bathtub. I would put one of them in. Then I would make this room into 2 studios. I would do some remodeling in the kitchen. But I don't dare touch anything here because not mine. Oh, I'll replace a wall switch and I do maintenance, but if it comes to something expensive, oh no, Christ, I had to beg him in September to get a furnace guy out to make sure my furnace was good to go. He was like, why should I pay for a furnace guy? I said, because it's your furnace, not mine. I said, either you can have a guy come out and go through the furnace and make sure it's ready to go, or you can get a phone call at 4 in the morning guy saying, I got no heat. And then you're going to get jammed up the ass because that's when furnace companies love service calls. It's 15 degrees and no heat in the house. And they can just charge up the ass. Kathy, between last night and tonight, I think I'm on the verge of insanity. If you catch my drift. It'll be interesting if I get an answer back from that station manager. Because I could guarantee I'm not the only person that bitched about their stupid move of running 2 30-second commercials at midnight. I cannot believe the program director actually said, well, it's 1 minute to midnight. Go to commercial. He should be fired. Well, either way, you'll know, because I'll talk about it. I bet you his email box is clogged. I bet you his voicemail is maxed out. I would hate to be in his shoes tomorrow when the station owner comes in and goes, step into my office. You and I have to talk. If you noticed, there rarely was a commercial. Because, I could see the TV reflection. And then at the biggest moment of the year, they run a minute's worth of commercials. And when they cut back to Times Square, it was all over with. Oh, if I lived in Dallas, I'd never watch that station again. I don't care how many popular programs would be on it that I wanted to see. Nope. And the sad thing is, it's a division of NBC News. It used to be MSNBC. Now it's CNBC, which is a spin-off from NBC. And at the peak viewership of the year, you go to a commercial and you don't run one, you run two. So that it was basically the ball was ready to drop, and when they come back to Times Square, it was over with. You know how many people tuned in just to watch that? Oh, I bet you there were people with torches and pitchforks outside that studio yesterday. They wanted to burn that station manager at the stake. Well, that was my fault, Kathy. Because I can't stand Ryan Kissass. Not to mention, I didn't recognize 90% of the performers. And a lot of them were rap artists. Now, we weren't listening, obviously. I had no volume. But I just couldn't stand the thought of staring at Ryan Seacrest for 2 hours. Although I never figured that any TV station on earth would cut away at the biggest viewership moment of the year to run two stupid commercials. But what's done is done. You can't take it back. You can watch a replay, big deal. The only way I knew it was midnight is I heard all the gunfire. You know, they said he's been doing New Year's Rockin' Eve for 20 years. Has Dick Clark been dead that long? Matter of fact, I was going to Google that today. When Dick Clark passed away. But they said he's been doing New Year's Rockin' Eve for 20 years. Now, maybe he was a assistant host. But he has no talent. And the word literally through the industry was he kissed ass to get those jobs. I bet you Pat Sajak's ass was swollen from all the kissing that he did to get Jeopardy. Well, maybe Seacrest was on the sidelines. I know a lot of times he would be introducing, guest performers. So, yeah, he could be doing it for 20 years. But he hasn't been hosting. I'm surprised after all the gunfire last night there weren't sirens around here. I had a suspicion who was firing that AK. And then my suspicion was confirmed when they were poking through the front yard this morning. Although, good luck, there's 3 inches of snow out there. I just hope they were firing down. Because people have been killed like that. There was maybe 5-6 years ago, I remember a guy doing that stupid shit, firing in the air. And a bullet came down and it came right through the roof. And a girl had her bedroom upstairs, and it came through the roof and it hit her in the head and killed her. There was another one in New York, probably about 10 years ago. A guy was up in one of the high-rise buildings, and he dropped a marble over the balcony. And it hit a woman in the head and it killed her. I don't know how they ever found out who dropped the marble, but they ended up catching the guy. Matter of fact, it was interesting. Nobody set off any fireworks last night. Last year, a couple of people had some big boomers. I didn't hear any fireworks last night. All I heard was the gunfire. But no sirens. That was the only way I knew it was midnight, because I didn't even look at the clock. I heard the brrrt, brrrt, brrrt. I was like, oh. Now I look and we're at a commercial. Unbelievable. Although if it was going to happen to somebody, it was going to happen to me. I happened to pick the wrong channel. I don't even know. Well, I would tend to think there had to be a big celebration downtown last night. Cleveland usually does fireworks. Although I didn't hear any. Usually you can hear them. Matter of fact, I was so ticked off I didn't even watch the Chicago show. Holy shit, Dynamite? Oh my God. Holy shit. Those were some boomers you definitely could hear. God, I can't believe this battery is almost dead already. I gotta talk to a computer guy. And see if there's a way he can put a new battery in that tablet. Although, if I get an amplified speaker, I can use my tough pad. Because I'm really not using it for much. I could transfer the music to the tough pad, but I need an amplified speaker for it. Oh, she was in one of those areas where maybe you saw the sheriff twice a year. Once to stop by and say hi, and then another time to stop by and say, I'm running for re-election. Vote for me. And you won't see me for another 6 months. One of those areas up in the mountains where it takes a sheriff an hour to get to you if you have a 911 call, huh? Oh, I believe it, Kathy. Shit. Dynamite? You could tell, no brains. Oh, I knew there was something I wanted to tell you. You know what I watched this morning? An hour and a half of Wile E. Coyote wanting to kill the Roadrunner. They started with cartoons from 1946, and they were running them back to back. I loved it. The good old Roadrunner cartoons. I don't know how many times I watched him drop an anvil. There was an hour and a half, starting with cartoons made in 46, and then they went right up the line, 47, 48, 49, and I remember them all because I'd seen them all about 10,000 times. I stayed in bed an extra half hour just watching Roadrunner and Wile E. Coyote cartoons. It brought back so many memories. Oh, God. I came across it by accident because I woke up and I usually, I don't know, put on some interrogation video and it said, cartoons starting 1946, all Roadrunner and Wile E. Coyote. And I laid there and laughed my ass off, just thinking of them saying how violent those cartoons are that they can't show them to little kids today. But a little kid can be playing first shooter videos on his computer. But watching the coyote drop an anvil on the Roadrunner, that's too much violence. Oh. And you know, everything always backfired on the coyote. I laughed my ass off. I was like, oh my God. Every time one would come on, I go, I remember this one. But an hour and a half's worth, back to back. Because, you know, the cartoons are only like 3 minutes, 5 minutes. And then every year it starts, you know, 1947, 48, 49. They went all the way up to 57 or 58. Laid there, looked at the clock, went, screw it. I'm nice and warm and toasty. I'm staying here until it's over. And no commercial breaks. Just constant cartoons, back to back to back to back. Brought back so many memories of my childhood. Christ, I watched them when, you know, when they used to have cartoons on Saturday morning. When my son was 4 or 5 years old. And they took them off saying, oh, they're too violent. What? Yeah, you can't watch a Wile E. Coyote cartoon, but you can massacre 300 people in a first shooter bloodbath video game, and that's approved. Just goes to show the thinking of some stupid people. You put stupid people in high positions in government, and they make decisions like, oh, them cartoons are too violent. How about video games? That's because the video game consortium pays big money to the lobbyists saying, make sure our video games stay on the computers. But them Them coyote cartoons, ban them. They're too violent. I'm watching them cartoons thinking, what stupid ass would believe an anvil drop? Yeah. Grand Theft Auto. Like that stupid woman suing the city. Oh, you tempted my son to steal that car. Well, if your little darling was 100% honest, he would have called 911 and said, hey, there's a car sitting on the street with the keys in it. Someone's going to steal it. No, he jumped in and stole it. And then he got his ass arrested. And Mommy's like, you tempted my little angel to steal it. I bet you it wasn't the first car he ever stole. And it was probably the first one he ever got caught in. You don't just jump in a car your first time like that. No, he was a seasoned car thief. I would bet my next Social Security check on that one. And I can guarantee that they'll pay her some go-away money. Because I cannot believe that case would actually go to trial. And if it did, she should get lapped out of court. The police tempted my son to steal that car. Does that mean when he walks into 7-Eleven, all them candy bars at the register are tempting him to steal candy too? How stupid. But it just goes to show you, for every stupid lawsuit, there's a stupid attorney. Gee, that's right on topic there, Kathy. Oop, easy. Boy, none of the special guests showed up last night either. Nomad never answered my email. And the people I talked to that said they were going to try to pop in never showed up either. Grumpy doesn't matter anymore. Yeah, it really surprised me not getting an answer to my email from Nomad. Usually he, I don't know, maybe he's over and done with yeah, I was kind of hoping maybe Mears would pop in. Scotto. Shiz. Because I emailed Shiz and I said, hey, you and Scotto at least pop in and say hi. And she says, well, if I get time. Although maybe Scotto was out on the town. Only me, senior sitting here waiting for someone to show up. Yeah, nobody popped in. I was kind of disappointed. I was hoping that, God, I was hoping at least Nomad would say hi. He must really be over and done with me. Good to the last drop. Boy, yeah, you could tell I was slugging the coffee all day. I get in bed last night and I'm like, I had to tape my eyes shut in order to go to sleep. I don't think I fell asleep until like 4 in the morning. I'm talking about other people, Rudy. People that were, around years ago. And Nomad is my moderator. Although, like, we need a moderator. I thought for sure our friend down under would pop in and say hi. I wouldn't know, Kathy. Like I say, he didn't answer the email. And I don't know anybody that, is close to him. I know he used to pop in on different, during the day he would pop in with Josh. But I haven't been watching, Stone Vet. Well, you need to pass them on to somebody, Kathy. Because I know he would be on with Stone Vet now and then. I don't know if G2, although I forgot to email G2. I just thought people would be doing a little surfing last night and go, oh, look, Grumpy's on. Let's stop in and say hi. I don't know, maybe his business is really taken off and he don't have time for computer, because I know he was trying to get his music business up and rolling. Maybe it finally took off. And then, it's, I don't know. I don't know anybody that I could contact that knows him. But I figured he would at least answer my email and say, hey, yeah, I'll stop in, or no, I'm busy, or... But nobody out of the ordinary popped in. Now, maybe she went out on the town, Or maybe Scotto, too, I don't know. Can't speak for somebody if you don't know. And I don't know Nomad well enough to know if he's got health issues or not. I don't know. He just seemed to drop off the face of the earth. I mean, Lee Shiz answered my email. But I didn't hear from any. Although, like I say, I forgot to email G2. I'm sure he would have popped in. He's pretty good about that. But they're, I don't run videos and that, so there's no real draw here. That's why I got to learn this OBS software. I mean, so far it's easy, but I have to get into the meat and potatoes of it. Because, see, there's a setting on here that I haven't done anything with. It says studio mode. Maybe that's the mode that you use when you want to run videos. Or invite guests. That's another thing I have to figure out. How could I have, guests on? Because studio mode goes split screen. That much I do know. I did click on it once. So evidently the split screen is where but how I invite people up, I don't know. I guess it would help if I really read through OBS. Or watch some tutorials. There's enough of them out there. Maybe instead of watching all these police chases, I should start watching OBS tutorials and really learn how to get the most out of this software. Because I do know a couple of people on YouTube that use it. Matter of fact, one of them not too long ago had a panel going. He had like 5 people on. So there's a way of doing it, but I know I have to do an invite of some sort. I guess it's a new year. Let's learn the software. All I can do is screw it up. Because it would be nice to have a guest on. Have like a panel discussion. I don't know about what I discuss, but I guess that's what I'll start doing tomorrow. Watching OBS tutorials. Learn how to use the software beyond what I've got right now. Oh, here's a good one. I told you I got the replacement camera that they delivered right under the sign that says don't deliver here. I get the replacement camera. it don't work. The zoom feature don't work. I can do a flip screen. I can do a mirror. I can't zoom in and out. The same problem with the other camera. And I read the instructions word for word. And I took the remote and I did just exactly what the instructions said, and it would not zoom in, it would not zoom out. So tomorrow, this one goes to Staples, gets returned, and I told Amazon, refund my money. I don't want any more of these crappy Chinese junk cameras. Just give me my money back. Because I already... These stupid things. I already downloaded the QR code that the girl will zap tomorrow and return my camera. That's right, Kathy. Leonard Cohen Jr., the composer, instead of telling me to sing them with my crappy voice, Ron could sing for us. I'd invite him on for a cameo. I might even do a green screen for him. You know what I was thinking of doing last night, which would have set the mood? You know, I have that New York backdrop. I was thinking of putting the New York backdrop up, and then I was like, no, this is Cleveland. I want my Cleveland backdrop. I have a suitcase full of backdrops that I probably won't use anymore. Because this one is the coolest one. Not only because it's downtown Cleveland, but this building right here has meaning to me. Because that building right there, my grandfather helped build. So that's why downtown Cleveland has memories that touch my heart. Not to mention when I was a little kid of going to Higbee's, Halley's, May Company, Sterling Linder, seeing a matinee at the Hippodrome Theater. On the way home, getting some Peterson nuts. Not to mention I worked downtown for 7 years, so the city has a lot of meaning to me. Yeah, for about 30 seconds I considered swapping backgrounds, Kathy, and I was like, nope, this is my city, and it means a lot to me, and this is going to be the WDWL TV background. Although I need to get rid of him and him and the light, and then I have to figure out some new lighting to kind of enhance the backdrop a little more. The blue light over here really illuminates the bridge. I need to work on getting some more illumination over here. But I need soft illumination, like this. I've got the setting for this light perfect. And it's going to remain my backdrop. Because I feel like I'm broadcasting from downtown Cleveland. I feel like I'm sitting right on the west bank of the river. Because the river is running under this bridge. I'm sitting on the edge of the river like, whoa, don't fall in. Yeah, because that's where this photo was taken, the west bank of the river, the Cuyahoga River. And like I say, at the foot of this bridge, right, get the mic out of the way. Right here was where my grandfather used to direct traffic. So there's a lot of meaning going on here for downtown Cleveland. And with that, I think it's about that time. And we might even have enough. Oh, this battery's weak. Wow. We might have just enough battery to play our outro music. All right, everybody. Thanks for being here. Have a wonderful rest of your evening. And we will meet again right here tomorrow night. And with that, take care. See ya. Take two. See ya. Oh, come on. Take three.